Hi friends. All right, I am back with the tutorial, the process video of putting my base together. I showed you this in my last video where I showed you some of my sample fabric cards for that I was using items from Digital Collage Club. Anyway, so this is the follow-up video. Many of you wanted to see this, so here it is. I'm hoping that we can work through this process together and make something fun. Of course, this one is my sample one. I haven't even decorated or anything else, but we'll sort of work maybe back and forth to see how we'll put it together. I'm going to bind it a little different, I think, but we'll see how it works out. I did want to say thank you so much to Gina. I did share a tutorial a few videos back that was inspired by her at Scrapinology, I think is her channel. I mentioned at the time that I thought it was a Gail Agostinelli idea that she was working on, but she mentioned that it was her original idea. So I don't know where I got Gail from. I guess I have Gail on my mind. But thank you so much, Gina, for the inspiration. I absolutely loved it. I was so inspired. Sometimes I just need to do something totally different than, you know, what I've made before, or something that's a little bit I don't know, just a little different. It was a one-page wonder. I will link it below if you haven't seen it. It's such a fun project to make. All right, so for this project, as I mentioned, I've got some envelopes. I don't know the sizes you have. It doesn't really matter because all I want is to have like a gradual difference in size. So I have, you know, different sizes of envelopes, of course. And I'm thinking I want something that's, you know, bigger for the back. Maybe something a little bit smaller for the front. I mean, there's all these different kinds of envelopes. So anyways, I'm just going to, maybe we'll do 5 because 3 just doesn't feel like it's enough for some reason. I don't know. I think it's a matter of picking these things, right? And I have to apologize, you guys. I don't usually kind of start the process this sort of undecided. I kind of like to share projects with all of you once I've already decided on, you know, what I'm using. But I figured many of you might actually want to see the process of selection, etc. Now, I did want to say, yeah, I think these different sizes are fun. I did want to say, if you don't have many envelopes, you could make your own. I did start making one, and this again is using the gorgeous pages from the Digital Collage Club, Making and Creating, their website. I showed you this again in the last video where they have the coasters. There's a bunch of coasters. The images are gorgeous. These are the ones I've been using throughout, of course. This page here, though, is from Your Creative Studio. We will be using some of those supplies as well, but that's just for decoration. So if you know, use whatever papers you have, use whatever items you've got. If you want to make something look similar to what I'll be making, then items from Digital Collage Club is what you are going to need. And I do have a discount code for them as well. So as I was saying, if you want to make your own envelopes, of course you can make them any size you want. There's many videos out there showing you how to make an envelope, but this one's the basic one. You know, you take your paper, you fold the sides in, and then you fold your flaps where you need them and cut your sides to fit. So the reason I like also making my own for these types of projects is because I can work with the way the image is. So, and let me show you what I mean. So an envelope usually, this is the orientation, right? Because it's an envelope. So, you know, if I wanted to work with this and cut it up and fold it, I would have to make it look this, like the image would not be facing the right way is what I'm trying to say. But if you make your own, obviously, then you've got, you know, you can place your image however you want when you're folding it. And then you've got the envelopes that are facing the right way, especially since I'm working with envelopes going this way. So you can go ahead and, you know, grab envelopes, and we are going to just cover them up with the different papers that you have on hand. whatever your base items are. I think I'm going to maybe stick one of these in here because I like this sort of, maybe I'll take that one out. I like this color. I like the way it looks. Then I can maybe add a smaller one, a taller one, and a smaller one. So basically we're doing like a stacked envelope project. And it's like an ephemera holder. So I'm going to make it so that it holds lots of ephemera and it can kind of sit on your desk nicely decorated. Okay, so I think I'm going to start maybe with the front one. What I did here, which I liked, now these items, these two postcards are from Your Creative Studio, from their most recent box that I received. Love that box. I did add one of the little stickers from the collection, and I will link that video below if you haven't seen it. I also have a discount code for them if you're interested in buying something. So I like the idea of this kind of being a flap. But I think what I want to do, because I'm going to make this envelope like that one, I think what I'm going to do is, as I've shown you before in my other envelope projects, is I'm going to close it up this way, and then I'll open up the pocket at the top. All right, so I'm going to get my papers. I'll come back and show you what I'm doing, and then we'll kind of work through this together. We'll see how long it takes. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this page because it does have like a sort of like a blank space there that I think would be perfect for when I cover the back here, because this way if I add anything else to it, I won't feel like I'm covering up any gorgeous images. But I think for this side of the envelope, I'm going to add one of the florals here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this up and then come back and show you the pieces I've cut up. Okay, so I've just cut up the pieces, at least the back one here, as I mentioned. So I'll be adding that here. I just cut that. I'm not, and see what I mean about leaving, there's still color, there's still design, but I didn't use up all the florals and covering them up with something. And then on this side, I've shown you this before, the way I like to cover up the envelopes is I'll glue around like the side there. I don't want to close that up, but also before I do that, I wanted to mention something. I'm leaving a little bit of an edge here because I think I will be distressing it, and I don't want to bring the paper all the way up to the that's not going to work. I'm not going to bring the paper all the way to the edge because I think it'll glue better if I don't do that. So as you can see, I'm sort of eyeballing this. And just cutting it so that, yep, so that it looks like that. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is just glue my pages on. I'll add glue to the edges here and then to the side here, making sure that I leave this open because it will become a pocket. Okay. Now I am using wet glue because I find that it gives me more time to move things around if I need to, and sort of, you know, put things in place before they fully dry. And that is actually one of my favorite glues that I use all the time because it also does not warp my paper, and I don't like glue that that warps paper, of course, because then it doesn't come out how you want it to. All right, so I kind of added a little too much glue there on the side, but the whole point of that was, I'm gonna let that dry so I don't stick it together. I want to glue the edge down here, and then around the edges, and then just the shape of the envelope itself. I don't want to glue it shut because I'll be using the top as a pocket. Now I'm making a mess here by continually touching it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just add the rest of the paper, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, welcome to my mess. I just started gathering, you know, scraps that I had put aside from the past projects. This one we just used now. And because now I need to cover up the flap, so I don't think I have pieces that are thick enough to cover the flap here maybe. But I did grab another one of the pieces from one of their collections. They have like polka dots as well in like a vintage style. I think this one came from one of the kits, but they also have a full set of those. So what I'll do is I'll just cut up pieces to fit to cover this up, okay? And I'll come back again. All right, here's my mess. Here's my one covered envelope. So we've got the flap fully covered. I've got the back. And so this, because this is going to be my front, I want the pocket to come from the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut a sliver of this at the top. And this gives me my pocket. And now there's my pocket. Okay, so that's going to be the front. Do I like this or do I cut it down a little? Let's cut it down a little, just to even it out. Yep, that's good. All right, so we have, how many envelopes did we say? 5? So we have 5 envelopes or 4 envelopes to go. Decide if you want to use envelopes that already have like, you know, some sort of design on them, or if you want to make your own. As I said, I think I'm going to use this one as well that I've already made. And I'll go ahead and cover the rest. The only thing to keep in mind is we want pockets on the tops, or we are going to want pockets on the side. So by that I mean, if I want to use this envelope and have a tuck spot coming from like the side of it, then I'll need to make sure that I cut on the side. So if we're going to have this on the front, and this would be my next page, and I want, instead of a top pocket, I want a side pocket, then after I've decorated it, I'll make sure I cut a slit so that I can have a side pocket. Then I flip that over. Again, make sure that, you know, we decide where the pockets go, but I think they'll all have a side pocket here, except for the front one, the top one, because this is here, and so of course I didn't want this to get in the way, but I think they'll all have side pockets as far as, yeah, I think they'll all have side pockets, because it's just much easier to put things in the side pockets, I find, than tucking something from the top. But of course we're going to decorate it a little bit more and add more pockets to it. So right now, just your base covering the envelopes, and then we'll come back and go to the next step. Okay, so I decided to grab these little postcards also from Making and Creating Digital Collage Club. I had these sets already from a previous project, and I thought I would add these as that little kind of, you know, part that I added to the last one. The last ones I did mention, I added those postcards from the collection that came from Your Creative Studio. But I thought if you didn't have that, then of course any little postcards would help, or, you know, anything that you want to add to make that kind of little extra kind of flip-flop part. I'm not sure what I'll be making with these. I think I might just add tiny little pockets or something around them, but I did want to glue these all the way down for now to hold them. The paper is that I printed on is a little thin, so that's why I'm thinking maybe I'll just leave them almost like as an interactive part to this little you know, cover, but we'll see. I'm just again, I'm deciding what I want to do with this whole thing as I put it together. So I hope you are all having a lovely day. I hope you are enjoying a little bit of crafty time. I've got so many videos that I need to edit for you guys, and I'm hoping to have that time soon. As the weather gets nice though, you know, we're kind of out a little bit more, going for walks and that sort of thing. And so that kind of takes up a little bit of, you know, lifetime, and not enough filming time. So I am trying to kind of get those, as you know, down filmed as much as I can. And I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, I think I did mention it on my Instagram post recently. I injured my shoulder recently, and oh my gosh, I mean, I don't even know how it happened. Truly, it was just, I, you know, grabbed something, I moved a certain way, and then I could not move my shoulder very much. I couldn't lift my arm. I couldn't pull things towards me. I basically could only move my bottom of my arm as far as I could, maybe grab things, but I couldn't really elevate it in any way. So of course, physical therapy, here we come. You know, it's helped definitely to heal it a little bit, but I was so worried that it was going to take so long to heal, because I couldn't even sleep on my right side. That's kind of the arm that was bothering me. I couldn't, like, you know, move around very much, and it was just so painful. And, you know, who would have thought that a tiny little section of your body could just stop you from doing so much so quickly, right? So I'm kind of glad I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm still limited in my movement with my arm, but of course, you know, when I can, I find the time to film and craft and that sort of thing, because this is what I love, and it just relaxes me, and it really just makes me feel a little bit better about, you know, just the day itself. So anyways, that's why I've been a little bit less tutorial video making time, and this one is probably like my first one since I've started healing a little bit with it. So hopefully you are enjoying it. Okay, so far we've made the cover, and we have the pocket on the top, and then I've gone ahead and decorated the other envelopes. So this one is the side tuck, and then the next envelope is the other you know, side tuck. I did add a pocket here and then just kind of covered this up, although I realized that what I used to cover up the edges here was sort of the same color as the envelope, but actually no, it wasn't. See, the envelope is white and I used like a creamy one, so I've gone ahead and covered that. I haven't covered this yet because I'm thinking I'm going to do something else with it. But then I have the next envelope that I showed you that I had made. And what I did is I just used packaging to line it because I wanted it to be a little bit stronger. And of course, now it has the lovely sound. So I have those done. And then I'll go ahead and decorate or cover this last one, which will be the last one that we're going to use. So you can see now when I just stagger them together, you can see how nicely you can kind of see them all, but not you know, but they're different sizes and just different decorations. So of course we'll be adding pockets and things like that to this to decorate, and then we'll bind it. Now I'm coming up to my 20-minute mark. I don't like to go over 20 minutes with my videos because they take forever to upload. So just to let you know that I did want to start the process to show you. We'll see what happens. I hope that you do want to continue to see it and want to watch the series. But if not, I'll come back and show you how I've completed it. And I might make a few of them. We'll see what happens, depending on the time frame as well. And as I mentioned before, all the links to what I've used, I will leave them in the description box below, as well as a discount code if you're interested. And just grabbing my packaging here, of course, I'll be using these lovely little pieces somehow. Maybe I'll make like this one as a little Easter one or a spring one. And then I'll still figure out what I want to do with the original one. As I said, I wasn't too happy with the binding, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm also working on another one-page project. So if you are interested in checking that out, leave a comment, let me know. And I'm not sure if after this video or before this video, you're going to see the Happy Mail Pals video. Those of you that are taking part, I'll be showing you what has come in. I'll start to connect you with a Happy Mail Pal. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link that video below for you to check out as well. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for stopping by.